Hey YouTube, Marko with Marko's Garage, coming to you today with my C50 and the battery tray repair. Let's get into showing you what I got to do here. As you can see, the battery tray is kind of rotted out and the battery doesn't really, stay in there, and I've been driving the truck around and I don't want to damage this Optima battery any more than I already have. So anyway, was waiting for a battery tray to come in. It's a little different than the C10. The tray itself is the same, and you can buy it separately, but my supplier, it took forever. So I ended up buying a different tray. So I'll show you that and what I'm going to do to put it in. Okay, so in the garage here, you can see this is the new battery tray that I got. And it needs to be cut down to a little narrower width. This is basically has a couple of areas where this bolts up to the fender on the other truck, or rad support, I should say. And then something like that. Yeah, I'm not familiar with how this battery tray goes in the other truck, but it's 73 and up, probably 73 to 79, something like that. It fits on the driver's side of the truck. This has the clamp that holds the battery in here, with another clamp on the side bolts down, holds it in. Typical GM style hold down, which is good. That's all I need. I did pick up a battery tray, which is kind of funny, out of a school bus, and here it is. Now I could cut this apart. This one's nice and solid. This one doesn't bolt directly in my truck because this is for the other side. This goes on the driver's side and my battery's on the passenger side. So I could cut this up and use it, but I'm thinking I could use this tray if I ever wanted to go dual battery. It's already built for the other side, so we're just going to hang on to this. Not worried about it. Not going to install it right now. Just don't want to wreck it. So all I got to do is take and cut a little bit off this side here, and then weld that into the supports on what's on the truck. Then maybe pull the whole thing out, sandblast, paint it, but I don't know if I'll get that painted for this episode. Let's get to it. Let's do some fabricating. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is actually just turn the truck around so it's facing the garage. In case I do any tack welding or anything like that, I'm going to put it on this side. Head, close the hood. Something good. Oh, gotta love it. There we go. This is fun. Perfect. Now we can take it apart and work on it. Take all this out of here. Take the strap off, cables off. Let's get to it. Now, a quick side note, you always want to take off your negative post first. If you go grab your positive one and you accidentally arc it out against the body, you're going to create a short. So you always want to undo your negative battery post first, and then it's the last one you hook up when you put a battery on. Okay, so as you can see, this old tray, it's seen better days. Rust and acid thinned out the metal. There's not much really hold there. So anyway, this tray, I just got to cut it down a bit and make it fit. Okay, so as you can see, the battery tray kind of came out in two pieces. It's all rotted off in there, and all I got to do is get rid of this, what's left of the battery tray on here. Other than that, the metal on this is pretty good, and the same thing on this side. The bracket's nice and thick, still lots of metal, but anyway, this is so thin that you can actually take a screwdriver and probably just get it off the button welds and clean up the metal underneath, and we'll paint that up a little bit and then put the new tray in. So I'm going to do what I can to get this off, and we'll come back for the next step. Okay, so on this side here, it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 spot welds. So all I got to do is grind the spot welds off the heads, and this piece of metal will come right off here. as you can see, with the combination of a grinder, air chisel, cutoff wheel, and a flat blade screwdriver, I was able to achieve getting the old battery tray, what was left of it, off of the brackets. One bracket and two bracket there, so that's good. So this one bolts to the fender, this one goes to the rad support, like this. And now all we have to do is take this tray, cut off the wide bit here so it's the same width as it was before. Anyway, I just marked out with the cutter disc. I did tape measure 10.5 inches, which is what the battery tray needs to be according to the other one I have over here, and measured off the old one, of course, to double check. So just going to go along and zip this end off. Always when you're cutting, make sure you got safety glasses on, using tools like this. Okay, so I got everything trimmed up here, and basically just going to go along and drill 4 holes in the end plate of the battery tray, and then just button weld those to here, and then drill some holes and button weld it to the other side, and that should be all I need to do. To go ahead and mark out 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's no point. This is for water to drain, and then of course I got 1 hole here that I'll drill just as sort of a guide hole, so I'll get that done. So if you see, I just scribed roughly the 5 holes I need to drill. I'm just going to use the drill press here. I'm drilling with a smaller hole to make pilot holes, and then I'll go back and use a bigger drill bit. Those are the 5 holes there. I'm going to drill them bigger, and then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to drill some holes on this side as well. Then we got the bigger bit in there. Go ahead and drill these out. Now all the holes are made for the button welds. We'll go back to cleaning up the edges on here with the little zip disc, and then let's get this thing welded together. Same on the other side. Okay, so here's our battery tray pieces. One of the things we could do is I can use a couple of bolts temporarily in these holes here, and that will allow us to test fit it, make sure it fits in the truck. And that being said, you know, if you didn't have a welder, you could probably go ahead and bolt this together or rivet it or something, but anyway. So as you can see here, I got 2 bolts here holding this whole thing together. We're going to go test fit it in the truck. If it all fits good, I'll come back and I'll weld this up, and we should be good to go. Throw some paint on it, and this isn't going to get fully blasted and painted for this episode. I just want to get the battery back in the truck, and but I just want to show you how I did this. So it's getting cold out, and I got some work lights here so we can see. Let's see how it fits in here. Okay, so there's the hole where the battery tray goes in. Let me get the battery tray and see how that fits. So it seems to fit pretty good. I just have to basically, because there's a little bit of a gap here, I just have to butt this up tight and allow this to sit properly, and now all the holes will line up. So we'll take this out, weld it up in the garage, and let's bring it back out. I tack weld it all in the truck, but I don't think my welder will make it through this gap here, so I'm going to have to do it that way. Beautiful. It's got a good angle to it. Now I got the one side welded. Just going to double check and then we'll weld up this other side. So I had to move the other side a little bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and weld this up. There we go. It's all welded up. I just got to take my little die grinder, take off any high spots so when the battery sits in the tray, doesn't make any holes in the battery. Last step in the cleanup process, use a DA sander, just smooth everything out. Okay, so there you have it. The old rusty tray, gone. Replaced with a new one in the brackets. It's a good idea to take a tap and just go over the threads that hold the battery down. Sometime during the manufacturing process, they get something in them, or when you're welding. Paint it up. It's not the best paint job. I wasn't trying to get this a concourse winner. I just don't want it to rust. It's going to probably come out again, get sandblasted, painted properly when some other stuff comes off in the front end, when I find some nicer pieces. But right now it's getting cold. You can see my breath here. I just want to get it in the truck so that I can get this buttoned up and be able to move it. So here we go. Let's get it in the truck. Well, so far so good. The bolts are all going in without any issues. Okay, so it's in there, as you can see. Paint's a little light on it, but anyway, just keep it from rusting for now. Like I said again, it'll come out and be painted up, gloss and painted. So we got some detailing work to do the engine. At least the battery will be nice and secure in there. I'll put the battery in the morning because it's getting dark and cold, and the paint's still wet. Okay, there you have it. That's how you repair the battery tray on a C50 if you got a rusty one. I use the battery tray from like a 73 to 79 Chevy pickup truck, and it was about $20 at my local auto body shop supply place. They do list a tray 67, 72, which would fit in here already without having to cut and modify it. As you saw, I had to cut that little piece off, but I couldn't get one. People buy the whole tray with everything on it already, so nobody brings it in, and it's back ordered. And anyway, so I just got this. It works. Maybe eventually I'll find a nice original one and sandblast, paint it, swap it out, but I just don't want the battery to be flying around in here into a fan or something like that, or in the engine, or leave you stranded. So, and if you like these videos, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications, and have a great day. And thanks for watching.